Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Talking Packers with Steve. In tonight's episode, I'll be going over the wildcard round, the craziness and wackiness of everything that happened between there and the wildcard round, my preview and predictions of the divisional round, my thoughts on coaching news that broke during the week in NFL, and also my thoughts and opinion on 2016 NFL team going to LA. Already starting going to be starting here in the 2016 NFL season coming up, and there might even be two teams that'll be in LA when the season starts. As of right now, it is simply one. But first, like I said, first off, I want to go over everything that went in the wild card round. Packers over the Redskins, Seahawks over the Vikings, the Kansas City Chiefs over the Houston Texans, and the Steelers over the Cincinnati Bengals. Let's start with the one that's been most talked about during the week, or at least especially even more so the Monday after, of course, the Monday after the weekend of games. Now the talk shows on ESPN and otherwise. The Pittsburgh Steelers and the Cincinnati Bengals, the game that I thought and it looked like the Bengals had it wrapped up, like they should have won. They should have that game. Ben Roethlisberger getting injured there, and him, yeah, he came back, but I didn't think he was gonna be, and he wasn't able to throw it far down the field anyway. They had to go down a far length down the field just to get to the situation that they got to, that we get the game-winning field goal. If they didn't have those two penalties, of course, being the game changers, being what helped the Steelers win the game and survive in advance and continue their season, however other way you want to put it. Vontez, whether it's Vontez Perfect or Adam Pac-Man Jones, I mean, I respect them both, and I think with Adam's uh, hit, I mean, there was a situation in earlier in the game, excuse me, with the Steeler defender, uh, the Bengal, that maybe should have been called for a penalty. I think it was Ryan Shazier from Ohio State, now the Pittsburgh Steelers, um, and Giovanni Bernard early in the game, like a head-to-head hit, and that one wasn't called. Now, I think the difference between that hit and the hit that actually got called a penalty there on the Bengals, I think simply was the fact that it was a later hit. You know, that it was, well, not a later hit. I think also it's because of what happened and how it was, and the fact that he just like seemed like he went and was knocked out in a way as well. You know, so all that I do it too. So, but in the end, Steelers got the win, but the Bengals should have gotten the win. They should have been able to put it together. They should have been, after everything that franchise has been through, especially in the most recent history um, with the history with Marvin Lewis and Andy Dalton, those two linked, not winning a playoff game since they both came to Cincinnati, came together. They've been in the playoff game ever since, so they make it every year. They're a good team every year, and heck, part of this season they almost dominant during the year. But this time it was because of injury to the quarterback, AJ McCarron. Excuse me. Could he do the unthinkable? Could he get the Bengals to win the playoffs? I mean, do what he does, or did do what he did as in Alabama as a starter, taking names. But could he do that here on a bigger stage here in the NFL? I would have thought he could. I mean, he's a pretty good quarterback, and there was a backup, especially there in Cincinnati. He thought that could have been. He could have been able to do so. And they should have been able to do so. But no, they let's just say in better terms, they mess up and they cost their team their season. And that's what it pretty much boils down to, quite honestly. Um, so all they have to do is blame themselves, and all they have to do is try to move on, regroup for next year, and see where it goes from there. Good evening, Cooter. How are you doing this evening?
Copleen, I'm wonderful, sir. How are you this fine evening?
I'm doing all right. Were you able to watch any of the action this past weekend?
I'm a little depressed, quite frankly. Both my local teams had a shot in that last week to get in. I'm one of those guys. If I got nothing invested, then I really just can't watch certain games. I mean, I can watch the Super Bowl. I can maybe watch the championship games, but as far as I shouldn't say, I did watch Seahawks and Vikings for a little while. I mean, probably about the fourth quarter I was watching. Wow, talk about talk about Scott Norwood wannabe over here. How do you miss a kick like that? My God, I thought I was watching Super Bowl 25 over here, buddy.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that too, but yeah, no, I understand. I know there's a lot of other NFL fans out there that are the same way. If their team isn't in the dance, isn't in the playoffs, um, they're even more adamant of not caring and not even watching any games, except for maybe the Super Bowl, depending. And also there are some fans, let's say fans of the Browns, let's just say, that that their team doesn't make it any and every year, anyways. Uh, that there's some of their fan base. Actually, one of them I know that's a Cleveland Brown fan is my former compadre Jay of that other wrestling podcast.
Oh yes, yes, yes.
And but anyways, there's some people that he told me of the Browns Nation that doesn't watch the AFC side of the playoffs. And then when it gets to the Super Bowl, they cheer for the NFC team. So something like that kind of thinking too. So
Let me ask you a question though, because I know you're probably going to get into this in a few minutes. But in terms of the Rams moving to Los Angeles,
mhm.
um, do you see teams who are now the former market, say St. Louis, or if Oakland goes with them to Los Angeles, or if the Chargers go with them to Los Angeles, do you see any of those former markets still following those teams, or now you got nothing invested if you're in that market? What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, I was gonna get into that later. That was gonna be the main event of my episode here. But my opinion, to that great question would be that I think specifically in St. Louis, when I'm talking about their fan base, I think they're just gonna disperse and choose different teams to be a fan of. I think. I mean, I think a high majority is gonna be that way, and then there's gonna be that minority that's gonna push really hard and want to have another franchise come to St. Louis. Like if Oakland can't get something done in their own market and can't get something done to get it work with LA, because the situation as it is arises right now, I guess I can get into it right now, is that the Rams were approved and they will be going to LA. The first 3 years they're going to be playing in the LA Coliseum, and then in 2019 in the 2019 season, to start that up, they will be going into their brand new building um, in Inglewood, California. Um, the San Diego Chargers are on the clock, so to speak. They have 1 year to try to make an agreement with Stan Kroenke and the Rams to either be a tenant or equal partnership. If I was the Chargers, I would want more of the equal partnership than being a tenant. Like being a tenant at an apartment complex. You would rather have some say than no say at all. And if they can't get a deal done there, then if they choose to stay in their market, no matter whatever, if they're forced to stay or however it works, Roger Goodell said that he's given the Raiders and the Chargers, whoever chooses to stay, I believe it was like 1.5 million or something like that, which sounds like a lot of money, but even for staying location, it's still a big project to get a new stadium. But that's what that money is earmarked for those
Hmm.
franchises. If they decide to stay, that is what the NFL is going to be giving to those owner or to either of the owners. So to answer your question, like I said, in St. Louis, I think most of them are going to just disband and try to find other teams to be fans of, and then there's going to be that minority that's going to want a team there in St. Louis. I don't see that happening. I mean, St. Louis lost two franchises in their career, so to speak. They lost the Cardinals when they were the St. Louis Cardinals, and then they went to Phoenix, Arizona now, and then just here most recently in 2016 losing the Rams and going back to LA. And even before they were in LA, the Rams actually started their career or their start was in Cleveland, Cleveland, Ohio. So they had a long history. But yeah, I don't think the team's gonna be coming to St. Louis. And in Oakland, that might be a little different story with those
They
Blackhawks.
have some great fans, though, don't they, Copley? I mean, Oakland's fans are always.
Oh yeah, they're
Even San Diego, I mean, is for a team that's not a huge market, they got some really rabid fans. I mean, I think any city that has a football team really gets behind their team. It's a shame. I mean, I remember a few years ago what happened when Cleveland left and they became the Baltimore Ravens. And I mean, Cleveland loved their football team, and they're just so sad to see him go. I mean, yes, they got blessed with the return of a new Cleveland Browns, but I mean, let's be honest. How many times can you lose a team?
well, yeah, not just how many times can you lose a team, but how many times can you lose a team and then try and and then give up to even trying to get a new team if they're just going to keep leaving. That was the issue in St. Louis, I guess, from Stan Kroenke's point of view, with the economic issues there in St. Louis and well, obviously nationwide as well, but specifically there, um, them not coming out there. But I think, in my opinion, I think even if if the fans were able to sell out their home games all this year, I think Stan Kroenke was still going to do what he's going to do and go to LA. I think that was his vision, so to speak. That he knew that he had a team that had a contract in itself to be able to be moved. Um, was how it was worded and worked out with the city, but we'll see how that goes. So thanks, Scooter, for stopping by.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me, Copley. I'll see you in a bit.
Yep, see you in a few.
Bye.
Bye. But yeah, I think that was the plan all along from Stan Kroenke's point of view that he wanted to move the team to LA. He wants the Rams. Obviously, he wants the Rams to be better, but I think even more so, he wants them also to be a better market. And being in LA, one of the number one or number two market of the nation, second to the New York area where Cooter is with his teams in the New York market with the Giants and Jets that share a building. So if the Chargers can get things worked out with the Rams and the NFL and LA and well, whatever other channels and avenues and chain of command they have to get file stuff and get things accordingly, and you'll have those two teams sharing a complex there in Inglewood. Now, from from what I saw in the markups of proposed stadium looks, I don't know if any of you guys remember seeing those on like ESPN Sports Center or whenever they were shown, or maybe in memes on Twitter or Facebook. But I know one of them, if it was the Chargers and the Rams, how it had like a little energy lightning bolt thing, like a real lightning bolt thing. You know, Obviously it's safe to be on how they do it. Obviously, there's all math and science involved in that, but that part of the being part of the stadium, which actually sounds and looks really cool, even from the markup that I saw. So obviously, this idea and this planning was in the works for a very long time. It just took the actual effort and talking about it. For a while it was just a pipe dream, and then it just became talking nonsense because people already brought it up, and then they're like, oh, it's not gonna, oh, it falls through this year, oh, it falls through again this year, and then fans got sick and tired of even of pundits or people like me or other media even talking about it because it's like, here we go again, getting people's hopes up that a team's gonna go to LA and it's not gonna happen. And even more so, the people of LA, the NFL fans of LA, because there are fans in LA of NFL teams, whether it's California teams like the Chargers, 49ers, Raiders, or teams all around. Like I know I saw on SportsCenter, and I think the midnight Eastern edition of SportsCenter, when they were showing some St. Louis Rams fans outside there in California. I think even in Inglewood specifically celebrating the news of the Rams coming back to LA. So you have Rams fans there. I'm sure you have some Packer fans. I'm sure at least you have one person there, one person in California, the state of California, one person each for all 32 teams that are a fan. One person, one family, one household, whatever you want, however you want to slice and dice it. I think that'd be the case. That'd be the case. But yeah, that was definitely going to be my main event. But that's fine. I can talk about it now because that is the biggest topic, the biggest thing to talk about. St. Louis Rams, now the Los Angeles Rams. They're coming back to LA and they've got history there, and here we go. Now you have a team in LA. Now we see if they can do well in LA. Because we talked about for years and years how LA wants a team back, how the NFL wants a team to be there. Well, now we have it. Now let's see how it unfolds moving forward. I think it'll be fine, but I'm just saying. And I do feel bad for the people of St. Louis, Missouri, the home of WWE superstar Randy Orton and many other celebrities. They're good fans. They are deserving of a team. I think they tried to support the team the best they could, even after figuring out, even before the season even started, that Stan Kroenke wanted to move, or pretty much said that he wanted to move the team to LA. And then in the proposal, he kind of says some not so nice things about St. Louis and everything, so he could try to get the bid for LA. So he kind of had to knock St. Louis down to try to help himself out. So I guess you can say that's NFL business, but it's still not. It wouldn't be the quote unquote nice way or the respectful way to do it. It's not, because you're literally burning a bridge with your former fan base, or the St. Louis fan base. Because once you think, even though you are leaving St. Louis and going to LA, don't you think you would like to try to keep some of those fans and have them understand that this just had to happen in a financial way? You could have at least tried to spin it in that way, or at least. But now it's too late to try to spin it that way because all the info and everything that you said in your proposal to the NFL is out in the open. Whether it was talked about on ESPN First Take, his or hers, the herd on Fox Sports One, or other radio and TV sports stations. It's just too bad. So I do feel for the NFL fans in St. Louis. I really do. Even from as an outsider looking in as a Packer fan, um, I really hope you guys get a football team because you really do deserve it, and you really do, and can and would be able to support an NFL team if one does come again. The question is, will one ever come to St. Louis again? For that to be answered in the future. I don't know. I just don't know. So as I'm happy that there's an NFL team going to LA, there's the other side of that where to have a team in LA, someone would have to leave from where they are and they're from their market that they were playing. So hopefully maybe there will be a St. Louis franchise, maybe in the next couple of years, and we'll have a new team, a new helmet, new logo, new everything, and then, which is what I liked actually when the Jaguars and Big Q of Team Boy TV, his Carolina Panthers, when they debuted in the National Football League, they had this random I think somewhat out of nowhere draft. I think even after the NFL draft of that year, if I remember correctly, and let me know if I misspeak, of being able to pick. I think it was two players from all the other teams. So if there's a new St. Louis team out of all the other 32 teams, and even though I'm all like undiagnosed OCD with my even numbers, it's okay to have 33. It is what it is. I can't change it. I can't add a 34th team to just make myself happy because of that weird fact of being like an even Steven kind of person. But anyways, then in that situation, that St. Louis team, we could be able to pick from the NFL rosters of the 32 others, two players I think it is. Now I don't know how they have it where like who's available like out of each person's roster. Is it all the backups? So none of the starters are available, as in none of the starters from the previous season, or do each NFL other 32 teams have to send someone to the league office showing the players that are available, like let's say for fantasy football. Those are in a fantasy football league each year, whether you do a keeper league in those situations, or each and every year when you start, you can show teams like who you um, who's expendable from your team, sort of thing, a list there. Now, would the NFL teams do the opposite here in real life and have real situation, have give it a list on company paper about players that are not able for the special draft for the new St. Louis team? Let's say the Packers. Is it like a 10 to 20 player minimum that can't be on there? So you'd put like, on the can't list, you'd have Aaron Rodgers, Jordy Nelson, Devontae Adams, probably, Eddie Lacy, James Starks. Um, who else would you have? Oh, BJ Raji, Clay Matthews, Sam Shields, Dayton Jones, and Randall Cobb would be 10. Just in that kind of situation, if that is the situation, and then go from there. But either way, that'd be kind of nice to see again, see how that worked, or how it will work now here in 2016 or beyond. If there is a team that goes to St. Louis or to San Diego, if the Chargers do indeed go to Inglewood, California, and join the Rams and become the LA Chargers for the first time ever. Or do the Raiders go back and the Raiders and Rams share a stadium again, and both have the LA Rams, LA Raiders, and just you know have that history for the NFL fans that remember it back in the day. Excuse me, but who knows? But but either way, congratulations to the Rams, and hope all works out. But anyways, back to the games at hand. I was just thinking if there was anything last I wanted to stay or say. Apologize to say on the topic of the Rams moving to LA, which is cool. And it's great that they're doing that, but it's just like you said, you gotta see it from the other side too, from the St. Louis side, and hopefully they can get a team in the future, and hopefully things will work out for them and for that fan base wanting a team that do want a team in St. Louis. Because like I said, to answer Peter's question when he was here, I think there is going to be a team here or a team there in St. Louis. I think there is going to be the minority fans there in St. Louis that will want a team to come back. We'll see how that goes for sure. All right, let's move on to the other games. Chiefs over the Houston Texans. Not much to say. The Chiefs kicked butt and took names in that game, 30-0, butt kick. So the Chiefs move on, continue their win streak, and now they're facing the New England Patriots, the mighty Patriots, the awesome Patriots. Joe of the Joe Corner Show, his New England Patriots on the road. A team like New England, they can be beat. I don't think they will be, but they can be. Anything can happen, right? Any given Sunday. So for the Chiefs fans out there that wear red, even though this is red for the Wisconsin Badgers, but you know what I mean, same color, different team. But the Chiefs can get it done, and I think Chiefs and Pittsburgh. You know what, really, all four road teams have a chance to win, just like last week. And last week I actually picked all four road teams to win, so that was cool and stuff. So Chiefs over Texans 30-0. Packers over the Redskins, and what pretty much ended up like a blowout. Seahawks over the Vikings. Peter was talking about that. This field goal, it could have been a psychological thing. Like for me, When I was a kid, I used to practice field goal kicking in the backyard. I thought, if anything, if I was going to make it in the NFL or sports, it'd be as a kicker because I didn't have the muscles, um, that other stuff to be a lineman or wide receiver, maybe a wide receiver, but I'm short, so I don't know if I would be able to do that. Um, but kicker, I thought, that'd have been a good avenue to go, and I practiced. I I did all that stuff when I was younger. So when I was thinking what happened during that thing, either A, he saw too much of what his celebration was gonna be, B, it just hooked. Because psychologically with kickers, especially with the whole laces thing, laces out and out, So and plus it was so cold. I think sometimes that can even get you psychologically. So it was cold, freezing, and it's the game-winning kick that should have been automatic. And with the whole laces out situation, don't you think they would have been practicing that while the drive was happening? You see that all the time on TV or during the games, especially when it's trying for a game-winning drive for a field goal. You see the kicker and holder practicing over on the sidelines. I assume they were. I don't know. But it was unfortunate. The Vikings should have won that game, but they didn't. So the Seahawks move on, face the Carolina Panthers, and like I said, all these home teams are able to be defeated. I just gotta see if it happens. Because what we could have for the NFC AFC Championship game is Pittsburgh at Kansas City, Seattle at Green Bay. So Green Bay getting a home game in the playoffs. That would be awesome. It'd be awesome for the Chiefs too, because as I tweeted out at the Twitter handle, you see there on the banner at talking_Packers, that I have a funny feeling, and I'm sure these fan bases would agree and would be happy with me saying this, that my team, the Green Bay Packers, and the Kansas City Chiefs will be in the NFL Championship game in the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 50, and how that would be apropos with that being the matchup of Super Bowl one. And I know I talked about that last week when my friend John was on air. Um, so I have a funny feeling that's what's gonna happen. Obviously, I hope that happens because with the Chiefs Packer game, I think that can definitely be a shootout. I think it'd be a Super Bowl for the ages. If that does happen, obviously I'll be picking and cheering for my Packers to win, but definitely highly respect the Chiefs and everything that Andy Reid has done after getting cast away from Philadelphia. So, I got coaching news to talk about. The Cleveland Browns should be hiring Hugh Jackson. Now, I've been hearing rumors or people are just thinking that with Hugh Jackson coming into the fold here in Cleveland, that Johnny Manziel era is going to be done. There's going to be that he's to be shown the door. Um, I would agree. I mean, seeing what his style is and what he tolerates and doesn't tolerate, I can see that not working out for them there together there in Cleveland. So congratulations to Hugh Jackson, I guess, and Johnny Manziel is going away. And just like any other time the Browns are looking for a starting quarterback, good luck. You're going to need it. Miami Dolphins hired head coach. I think it was last week as well. I forgot who it was. Excuse me. But so those are the two coaching changes right now. So the Eagles and the 49ers, Titans are still looking. Let's see how things go in that regard moving forward. But I guess there's nothing else further ado um, for in regards to LA and all that other stuff. Like I said, if others join me in today's episode, like Recruiter was able to, which I do appreciate, I'll definitely get their thoughts and opinions on some of these news topics. But we'll see. Anyways, let's just get into the preview and predictions for the divisional round matchups. And let's start with the Kansas City Chiefs at the New England Patriots. I'm going to predict and go with Joe Cronin's New England Patriots. I just, even though I like see this Packers Chiefs Super Bowl and all that other stuff, New England's still a team that should be reckoned with. I've seen it pretty dominant during the season for the most part. So I'm gonna go with Patriots over the Chiefs. Um, 24-20. Patriots over Chiefs. Steelers at Broncos. Peyton Manning starter. They're not going with Brock Osweiler. I thought it would behoove the Broncos and best for business for them to go with Brock. Give him a chance to see what he's made of in the playoffs. But that was not to be in that situation. So I'm gonna go with the Steelers over the Broncos. I want the Steelers over Broncos 24-17 in that game, and that's the Broncos. Uh, excuse me, Broncos. That's led by Peyton Manning now and coming back, and also Glass. So I get with the sports and T-Boy TV on his Denver Broncos there in that game. I just don't see your team there, Glass. Moving on, but we'll see. I just think it would have been better for them to start Brock Osweiler over Peyton Manning for other reasons as well. But they decided to go with Peyton, use the namesake, big name, marquee, whatever. We'll see how that works out. Seahawks against Big Q of Team Boy TV Live, and the Black and Blue podcast where he talks about his Carolina Panthers, of course, specifically. And again, I'm sorry, Big Q, but I'm going against your team here, and I'm going to be predicting the Seahawks. They're just on a roll, a team on a mission. Even with the Panthers having the bye week and everything, I don't see them getting past Seattle, even at home. So I'm going to go with the Seattle Seahawks over the Carolina Panthers 35-24 and getting the win on the road. And then the game of the weekend, the Packers against the Arizona Cardinals in Arizona. Last time we were in Arizona, it wasn't so pretty. It didn't go too well for our team there. Got our butts kicked 38-8. But I think this time it's going to be a much closer, much better game. I see the Packers getting a win in the end, 45-40. Oh, no, 45-41. And move on for Packers, Seahawks, and Chiefs, Steelers. NFC and AFC matchups in their conference games. But we'll see how the game goes and how the game goes in those games, and hopefully the Packers can definitely for sure do a lot better than they did last time. Now, if I was able to have a guest, Louis T of the Louis T Network, we would have been able to talk about in specific a little bit more about the Redskin game, but he's unavailable tonight, which is fine. People are busy. Um, but shout out to him. Check out his channel on YouTube, and if you're watching Louis T, your Redskins had a good year, and maybe I overhyped it with thinking that they could have a run and go to the Super Bowl even, but they had a good year. Something definitely to go with moving forward, and good luck in the 2016 season right there. So with all that being said, I think I'm going to be done for the evening. I don't I don't know if sorry, I'm just checking something. I guess my last thoughts, I guess, just in general, I hope that these divisional games are are close, are good, competitive. Just like I said for the wild card, I want this playoffs to be as thrilling as entertaining they are for not just the team's fans involved in the games, but all NFL teams of other teams as well, and enjoying some football action. Whether it's ME and him being a fan of the Indianapolis Colts, who, yeah. So their team or his team, not in the playoffs, but still enjoying the games that are on the slate here moving forward. I mean, his Colts, they're good, but so thanks to all those that have watched live and will be watching while it posts. Welcome to leave a like, comment, subscribe, of course, and let me know what you think. Like I said, having this headset on now, I should be able to be heard more clearly and have a better product out there for everybody to enjoy for my NFL and WWE podcast. At the top of the hour here at 8 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. Eastern, if you are able to catch this episode as quickly as possible, or if you're watching live, of course. Thank you. But at 8 p.m. Central, catch me here in my opinion on WWE and Pro Wrestling on Main Event Marks. Just type it in the YouTube search Main Event Marks and watch us live there and enjoy that show. And subscribe to them as well if you enjoy what you see. With all that being said, I hope everybody enjoys your evening and whatever you do. Take care, stay safe, and have fun. And like I already said, above all, as always, take care.